Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Enigma of Sepia video. And I wanted to go ahead, even though I've kind of talked about this previously in 2 other videos, I really wanted to hone down really the quick early, mid, and late game character building and the absolutely most important parts and what should be the focus on. Now that I've built so much, I've really been able to statistically see what is best in all areas. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quickly. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what is my strongest and most built up character, and that is the EOSMYLOVE character I have. This character is a pure DPS juggernaut. The one main problem with this character, of course, is the fact that it is a bit of a glass canyon. But as you're starting this game at early, mid, and late game, the most important focus immediately is going to be to level up the star level. That first spot right there, you get the most bang for your buck in power push from that area. So that should always be where you're looking. So early game, it's going to be your first 6 characters, pushing them as far as you can. Mid game, as you expand and change out your teams and build a second team, same thing. And then the end game, it's going to be once you start finishing off your characters at the star level, then you're going to make sure that you will at one point need 3 teams, and then you're going to go to the next phases that are most important. And in my opinion, it's very close. But first, we're going to talk about breakthrough. Now, breakthrough is important for all the characters, but most importantly for your non-UR characters first and foremost, because that's what's going to push them further, quicker. So for instance, my Giselle, which I featured before, is at UR. Why? Because you can break through and keep going to further levels. So for instance, if you have an SSR, you can get it to SSR plus and then to UR. That is going to be the next big push for all characters under UR. Now, if it's a UR character, you now get an area that opens up that's going to increase rage, your HP, your attack, your defense, your initial rage. Sometimes it's a different and it's not initial rage. The point is, this area though is not the next push. Joint attack is by far the next push as you're doing it. So it's like level up, break through your non-UR characters, then joint attack. And then for UR characters you're building, then it's going to be joint attack right away. Why? Joint attack gives you a huge push to your characters on 2 fronts. One, also the stats of the character, but more importantly, the ability to do these joint attacks becomes so important because the amount of damage they can do in game. And that's where planning comes into being a key when you're starting to build your teams, especially after early game. So you're going to want to look, you're going to want to see who your team build is, you're going to want to see who they can joint attack with. Luckily for most characters, there is 3 joint attacks, so it's not as difficult as you would think to build teams properly to maximize your joint attacks. So for instance, the team you see on the screen right here does a multitude of joint attacks between the characters, and that's what you want to really be able to maximize. The only one that really is a throw out at this point for joint attacks is the Sepia, but everybody else has joint attacks with somebody else. And that's the key to building up your team. Not only the power for your character, but also your team power to be able to push through content. After joint attacks, I put the Kabbalah tree. Why? Because the Kabbalah tree is more mid to late game, because it allows you to customize your character by adding in, of course, different aspects that can help them out. Like for instance, Wisdom Angel on this character, landing crits, 15% chance to prevent the target from gaining rage and reduce its rage by 5 instead, which is great, especially if you're hitting a character that's a main DPS on the other side. This area then would be the next focus. Now, throughout all this time while you're doing this, gears should not be an over focus for you. They will help you out, but if you're farming your gears, just keep updating them. So So all you got to do is each day while you're farming your gears is just start with your most important characters and do quick equip to make sure that if you have better gear, it keeps going to them, and then just go right down the line to each character and update those. And same thing with your scrolls. You know, scrolls, I would not overly focus on them on early game or mid game. That's where I'm starting to really focus now because I don't have some of the best effects. But early game, you want to put on what you have that's best for them, and then just keep updating as you get more, but don't overly focus on those. And same with your gear. These things are done, you just do them once daily, update them, move on, because your level up, your star level, your breakthrough, your joint attacks, those three, boom, that is how you're going to push your character the quickest. Emblem is really late game, similar to what you're doing with gears. Just quick equip them on the best ones you have for your main team and characters, and same thing daily. Just do quick equip. If you got better ones, prioritize which characters you go and move on. This is going to be late game content for you because you will get the most bang for your buck again out of just purely leveling up and breakthroughing your character in joint attack. Outfits are a nice push but not a necessity. Plus, they just seem to go on. I've never seen an outfit system like this. It's one of the few aspects in the game I'm not very crazy about. They'll give you stats, but does not need to be a focus on you. If you want to get an outfit for a character because you like it, great, get the one outfit. Don't focus on it early game, mid game, even late game, honestly. Once I realized how far this goes, I'm over it. But that's really what's going to get your character built up the quickest. I cannot stress enough just the pure fact of leveling your character up, getting it to the highest star level possible. Your joint attacks, of course, become very important in in-game content and PvP. So those are going to be, but you will have to spend a little time planning that out because they're going to work with your team builds. So hope that helped out. Hope I made it a little bit more succinct for everybody and right to the point. With that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.